You played with the likes of Justin Thomas, Tiger Woods, JB Holmes, who we just spoke with,
Yep.
Tom Brady, Peyton Manning. I mean, what do you think is it about your style that really attracts people that are of that caliber?
Well, I think that they're all determined to be successful, and
You're listening to Studio 22. Welcome to Studio 22. I'm Brock O'Hearn. I'm here with my co-host, Will Meldman. We are sitting with Matt Killen and Alex O'Laughlin. How's it going?
Woo! Got the last name down.
That's
Everyone
it.
always messes that one up, but
I can imagine, as I did it multiple times just now, and I apologize.
No, you're good.
Yeah. How are you guys doing?
great. She's trying to add the O to O'Killen, and I completely vetoed that.
Oh, did you?
Oh, yeah.
What do you have against O apostrophes, my friend?
I'm just trying to keep the last name the same, keep the family lineage going.
I respect that. That's
We're
awesome.
excited. This is the second couple that we've ever had on,
Who was the other one?
Michelle and Johnny.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah,
Our friends.
keeping it in the golf family.
Yeah,
Very cool.
and they're awesome. What a great couple, too.
Families that golf together, stay together.
That's awesome.
I love that.
Yeah, but they have a kid they popped out, right?
Little McKenna.
Yeah, McKenna, beautiful
Talking about
name.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got some funny stories with dogs and kids and the whole life, It's awesome. All right, well, Matt, we'll start with you. What an incredible list of talent that you work with, man. How did you get started?
That's a great question. I started coaching golf really professionally when I was 18 years old, but I had an interest in it from the time I was 12, and I decided I wanted to teach when I thought that playing was probably not in my best interest, because my ideas and thoughts about how to play and how to swing were more important to me than playing, and that's kind of how I got rolling into teaching.
That's great. Yeah. And Will, you want to list these people off, man?
Yeah, absolutely. You played with the likes of Justin Thomas, Tiger Woods, Kenny Perry, JB Holmes, who we just spoke with.
Yep.
Incredible stories from him. And then, outside of the professional world, like my father, Mike Meldman, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning. I mean, what do you think is it about your style that really attracts, people that are of that caliber?
Well, I think that they're all determined to be successful, and personally, I love being around people that love what they do and they're good at what they do. And I enjoy getting the information from them and figuring out why they're good. And I think that kind of rubs off in the lessons that, we're chasing greatness no matter what we're trying to do. And those personality types are all very similar. They all want to win. They all want to be the best at whatever they're doing. And that really is a parallel to what I do.
That's great.
And Golf Digest called you like a mad scientist with your approach to golf. Like, how do you think you kind of developed that killer instinct when it comes to analyzing the game?
Well, I'm just always looking for new opportunities in ways that haven't been really explored, as well as old school teaching. I mean, I've read everything. I went to every seminar, learned the newest technology. I mean, golf is still a game. At the end of the day, it's a game, right? But there's a lot of information we can use the technology for to give us a better chance to improve and play and perform better by measuring things and figuring out what exactly is happening, during the downswing or whatever we may be focusing on, and putting a number on that and quantifying it. There's a lot of field players out there, so we still try to make it as much feel and artistic as possible, but measuring it is a big key.
That's awesome. And Alex, you're quite the golfer, right?
Well, I've got a great coach now, so there's no excuses.
That's awesome. Have you felt your game increase since meeting Matt?
I am the Troubadour Club champion. I have now won on the Ladies European Tour as an amateur. And I've won quite a handful of other events and different pro-ams since then. But it is crazy how having information that is tailored to you specifically can just completely change who you are as a golfer. And that goes through to the technology and getting the right equipment in your hands as well. But something I think Matt does so well is really just adapting to, how you said, new information that comes out. Because in golf, it's so easy to stick to all of the fundamentals and the information that's been around so long, which is the groundwork for the game. But being able to adapt and continue learning, growing, and just bettering yourself so you know what's out there, you can really achieve so much.
From the sounds of it, I need to start working with you, man.
I know you're going to have a lesson tomorrow, right?
Hey, I'm coming through. Absolutely.
Now, what
Awesome.
she didn't tell you is that whenever she's about to play, she'll look at me and go, remember, how I play is a direct reflection of you. Okay? And so that's when I know that she's ready to cram, and I've got to be on my game.
Sounds like some pressure.
Yeah, I love pressure, though.
But
That's
as
great.
I was taught, if you don't win, don't come home.
I told her that before the club championship. If you don't win this, do not come home.
That's amazing. How do you manage like playing the sport and also a broadcasting career?
I think it helps with both of them being able to play the game, understand it. That ultimately was the reason why I landed in a position that I did. I was the youngest person to be on air at Golf Channel when I started. And a lot of that came from just having the information of golf, which, I mean, as you guys know, there's so many nuances with the game that you just have to be familiar and educated on. And playing is already a huge step of it. But I had a huge love for television and obviously a love for golf. So being able to continue those both, there's a love that bottom line will keep you wanting to continue doing what you're doing. So I hope that shows through when I'm doing television work. And then when I'm on the golf course, that's the thing that keeps me coming back, is just the love of the game.
Speaking of love, how'd you two meet?
Well, in typical golf fashion, as a golf couple, we met at the Players Championship down in Jacksonville, Florida. And we met in a hotel lobby. And this was kind of the start of what became a 2 or 3 year friendship before we really just decided, wow, you are my person. How did we not see this? And since then, we've been inseparable. And obviously, we're engaged now. And
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And having a partner and a teammate is just
The story's
incredible.
even better than that, though. Okay, so my key doesn't work to my room. She's sitting in the lobby. I walk past her, and I'm like, wow, I'm like, who is that? So I go up to her room. Key doesn't work. I come back down, get a new key. I go back up again. Key doesn't work. Come back down. Now I'm looking a little creepy because there's nobody else there.
I'm just eating my dinner.
Yeah, she's sitting in the lobby. There's 6 seats down there. It's a very small lobby right outside the gates of the stadium course there in Jacksonville, the Players Championship. Yeah. And so it happens 2 more times, and I finally go back to the front desk, and I'm like, look, this is kind of embarrassing. I keep walking past. I said these people, but there was really only one person there. And they were like, all right, we're going to check out your door. It's going to take 15 minutes, though. So where do I go? I go down and sit next to her. And we start talking, and before you know it, we had a lot in common. I realized she was in the golf world. She realized I was in the golf world, and we kind of hit it off as friends there and kept going.
Yeah, a lot of our initial conversation was different courses that we loved, Discovery Land Company. We started talking about Madison Club and just different places that naturally kind of came up, and our love of watches, different players, whatever, just things that, are in our day-to-day lives that we could connect on immediately, which was fun.
It's like right out of a romantic comedy. It's like one of those like coincidences
funny.
where it like turns into
Hotel lobby would have never been where I thought I was going to marry.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, you would think a dating app or something nowadays. So nice to meet you in the real world.
I know, right?
it's
awesome.
a nice organic story.
Yeah, you hear a lot of time from long-time married couples, and they say, the looks fade, all the other stuff fades away, but what you really have at the end of the day is a friendship, and if you can have that, and that can be the base, which sounds like what you guys built off in the beginning, it's going to be a long, fun ride for you guys.
We completely agree with
That's
that.
I mean, that's the fun part. We have a lot in common. I mean, she's very competitive, though, let me tell you. Pickleball
You're
with
not?
her I am too. But sometimes me winning is not in my best interest.
For the relationship.
Smart man.
That's awesome. Did you guys play a lot of pickleball?
We love
We
pickleball.
love pickleball.
Our dream day is wake up, play pickleball, go play golf, play pickleball, go play golf, and then go to dinner, play pickleball, like under the lights, 11 p.m. We've done that a few times.
Yeah, we both like to play any type of sport, anything competitive. It can be even a board game. We were trying to win.
That's awesome.
We have a lot of poker games at our house, too.
Hey,
Yeah, we saw the
Brock and I
table.
like poker.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have one this week.
There we
Oh,
go.
that's awesome. Yeah. Texas Hold'em?
Texas Hold'em.
Love that game. Yeah. I'm guessing you guys don't get to do a lot of golfing and pickleball here at Troubadour, do you?
Not as much as you would think, but
Really?
I mean, we do it when we're here.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's hard when we're here because we want to do all those things, but it's also a very short amount of time that we get to spend away from work at home. So a lot of it is just kind of, wow, unpacking, repacking, the basic kind of
That's a huge
things
part of
you
our
have
life,
to do.
unpacking and repacking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I know the feeling. So it's always something, it feels like. But kind of getting back to golf and what you do, Matt, like obviously you're very technique based. How much is it technique versus the actual person you're working with and adapting to them?
The person you're working with is probably more important. I use this example some because I think it's a great one. So if you have a spider on the table here, one person might smash it, one person might catch it and release it, and one person might scream and run. So you've got to figure out who you're dealing with. And once you figure out what they're going to do with that spider, you start figuring out how to teach them a little bit better. So I think understanding the personality and the person and teaching them based on how they view the world and how they react to different things is a key in teaching. No matter how smart you are, you have to be able to create that trust and that bond with people and explain the way that makes sense to them. If they're a spider capturer, you've got to figure out how to give them the right device to capture it. So that's a big part of what I do.
It's really cool.
I noticed, I had the good fortune of working with you for the first time at Gauzer for about a week or two straight. And you really helped me get my wedges from the 55-yard shot, the 65-yard shot, and how to really kind of make those types of plays in a consistent manner, which completely changed my game. It was something I didn't even really realize I was missing. And you kind of gave me one or two things each day, which really, really helped me. I mean, was there, what was it about me, I guess, that kind of made you realize a couple of things each day might be the way to go?
I realized quickly that you get overwhelmed easily. You've got access to a lot of information, so everybody's trying to help you all the time. And so I tried to dial it back to, look, these are the most important keys. Master these keys, and then come back to me and say, I'm not doing good or I'm doing great. What's the next step? But I always make sure I keep repeating the lesson until somebody learns it. It's not entertainment value, right? Same thing with your dad and your brother. I'm really making sure that they learn each piece so they can own it. You're in it when you learn it for, 20 minutes and then you play for a couple days. But when that stuff becomes natural and you don't have to think and it's automatic, that's when you start to become a real player. And so I went over the same keys with you every day. And that consistency is really important, just to be able to touch on it and repeat it over and over. And you were a great student. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing you this week. You've been in the studio all week. I didn't get to see you yet.
Oh yeah, we've been getting down in here. But no, yeah, it's I don't think I've ever had that steep of an improvement in that short of a time. It was I felt very lucky to be working with you. It was very cool.
Well, I appreciate it. I always say that what makes great coaches are great players and great work ethic. And that's one of the things that you exemplified and most of my students do. I try to kind of weed the people out that don't want to try. It's not a magic sauce. I mean, this requires your own work. The information is going to be good and it's going to be structured, but you have to have a plan and you have to execute it.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, I mean, you're really at the point in your career where, obviously you don't have time for everyone that wants to work with you. So how do you kind of, choose who to spend your time with and who you can really focus on?
I really base it on, word of mouth. So if somebody refers a friend or somebody, they say, you've got to meet this guy, I'm really looking to gain knowledge and information and grow as a person by being around people that I think are better at certain things than I am, right? Not in the golf space. I feel like I'm really good at that, but I want to learn how they approach everything and listen to what they say, what kind of work ethic and patterns they use to improve their life. And I feel like that's the biggest benefit, which kind of sounds crazy, but I realized why I enjoy certain people, more than others. And it was really because I'm able to take, I feel like I gain something too. So I'm teaching them, I'm giving them what they want, but I'm also learning about whether it's real estate or the world or how they, execute certain things in competition. It's really interesting to me.
That makes a ton of sense. Because Snedeker, the other day was telling us how, you can get to know someone with 4 hours on a golf course better than, a year in a business conference room setting.
So accurate. You can see their mannerisms. You can see what makes them mad. You can see how they react to adversity. You can see if they play by the rules.
Right.
There's a lot of things you can look at. So golf course is a great place to learn about somebody's behavior and their patterns.
Would you say you had an innate ability to kind of figure all that out with somebody's personality and even the game as well, but just from the beginning, or did you really work at it and study or go to school for it or anything like that?
A little combination.
Yeah.
I would like to say that it was just natural, but I did read everything I could and go to as many, whether it be Titleist Performance Institute, their TPI level 1 certifications for fitness, to make sure if somebody has a restriction or a range of motion issue, I could identify that and not try to teach them something that could hurt them or that they couldn't physically do. So a combo. I'm really love reading people and figuring out, what motivates them. So if you came tomorrow and you said, I want to hit my driver further, and you were really adamant about that, I would take what you wanted and I'd give that to you, but I'd also figure out what else is lacking that I could help you pick your game up. Because most of the time they're not their best judge of their game. Caddy or friend or something will be a little bit more realistic because we only see our problems through our eyes. And if we can look at it from an outside perspective, we can figure out how to save more shots and how to improve much faster.
Alex, I want to redirect a question over to you. How did you find the time to, build all the social media followers with your busy career in golf and broadcasting?
Well, what I see being now in the social media world is you have influencers, which I didn't set out to get a following. I was working with Golf Channel, I was on TV, and from that grew a following. And, seeing how the world has changed, I've adapted, and I've now been able to sort of create a path that's different outside of just regular broadcasts, which I still love doing. But now I can kind of form my own work and get to be my own boss with certain things, which has been an absolute blast, and sort of just diversify my day-to-day duties, whether it's, doing a golf clothing line with Dick's Sporting Goods. Something that helped me with that was social media, because you just get different eyeballs that aren't watching standard network TV. So I love the creativity of it. And fortunately, I did get a lot of creative freedom early on at Golf Channel, getting to cover events that I thought needed to be highlighted, working with different players that I wanted to share their story and tell their story. And it's almost just an extension of that, because you can use social media in really any way that you want. And, sometimes I'm putting out instructional content that I get to bring Matt on board for, or I get to highlight different celebrities and show what they're like on the golf course, because a lot of people won't see them in that world. It just depends what I'm feeling. If I want to show my wardrobe, because the women want to know, what do you wear to, a extremely uppity golf course, or to a country club, or to their muni track. Like, I like being that voice and getting to showcase plenty of different scenarios, whether it's just a segment on TV or something in my personal life.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's the only reason I follow Matt's for the wardrobe stuff,
Exactly.
Stylish man.
He's got it down.
He does have great style.
That's great.
Not much room left in the closet for my
That's
shoes.
true. So you guys saw the closet when you guys came over.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
You got
So
a beautiful home.
I took them upstairs and showed them. So we have a normal closet, and you guys went in the secret closet. That's Alex's closet.
Yeah.
You guys went up there.
Yes, they did.
It's very impressive. Very impressive.
The doorway, it was like a bookcase, right?
Yeah, it's hidden.
Yeah.
It's not a secret now that we've told everybody. But
Yeah.
Oh, we could cut that out.
I know.
We don't care at all. It's just a fun room.
I mean, I've
awesome.
always loved fashion, and so have you. And just getting to pick pieces that kind of show your personality, that's been fun outside of the golf world and in the golf world, especially because there weren't that many people that I could look up to that I could get golf fashion from. So it's fun being able to, show my style.
It's so funny. So we go places, we go everywhere and travel. And, I didn't really know what her following was like, whether it be all men or all women, whatever it was. But I keep having all these women come to me and go like, hey, could you tell me where Alex got the piece of clothing? And I'm like, I think you have a pretty large following of women that really just follow you to see what you're wearing. And I think you do such a great job of that and making everybody comfortable and talking about it. But you guys, when you were there, you came into my office and you saw, so we have a book there, right? Which you guys now have signed. So they signed our guest book.
Good.
Great book. That was one of the coolest ideas I've seen, actually.
It's this old kind of like papyrus, weathered, like straight out of Lord of the Rings. I mean, it's badass.
It's fun to see all the names too. You forget who's been in the house and who you've worked with, and it just brings back stories too. Like when you see different names, makes you think back, and good little reminder.
I think they're going to add one to the podcast, right?
Yeah.
book.
No, yeah, you definitely inspire us to that because we're always thinking about what we could do, because I've been on a couple podcasts, and they all take Polaroids, and that's a cool thing. Or what kind of different options we can have for that. And the book is honestly one of the coolest things, especially, having such awesome guests already. I think it'd be a really cool addition, even if we sent it around and got everyone to sign it who's already been on top of that, But great idea, and we're stealing that from you, just so you know.
We stole it from somebody else, so it's
fine. That's the way it works, right?
I bet you have a cooler actual book though, because that thing is I'm still obsessed with that thing. But it's funny, you guys talk about kind of golf fashion and style, and when we were speaking with JB again, he was kind of saying how with all the new young guys in the game, like Ricky Fowler and Justin Thomas, and they really kind of brought in this new, I guess, wave of interest in kind of and Tiger, obviously, the patterns of what you wear and just bringing in, making it a part of the game a little bit more. Would you say in the last 20 years, that's kind of become more of a thing?
Absolutely. You're getting people that didn't necessarily have an interest in hitting balls and learning the game, but maybe they created an interest of, oh, this is an awesome outfit. Maybe now I want to go and explore golf because I've now crafted this new wardrobe that needs to be shown off.
Yeah.
I think that's accurate. I mean, if you look at Viore, for example, every time I order new stuff to work out in, I'm motivated to go work out, right? So you can pick and choose whatever sport it is, whatever game. If you're targeting it and you're wanting to look good, feel good, play good, I think that's a lot of it.
Yeah, I mean, and especially from what I've heard so often, just on the podcast alone, people talking about how the game of golf is such a mental game too. And if you feel good, and you look good and everything, it only adds to the game, right? And what you're going to do and how you're going to perform. So, I mean, who doesn't want to look good, right?
I agree with that. There's one thing though, if you dress too nice, too perfectly, and too sharp, you better have a lot of game.
Yeah, back it up. Back it up.
If it's hot outside and you're wearing long pants and you walk up to the tee, you better have some game.
Yeah, you better be a reason for that extra
Exactly.
Layer. No,
that's great.
I love seeing photos of Justin Thomas too when he was a teenager and an amateur golfer, because I feel like he always had pants on.
Oh, you could fact check this, but I'm pretty sure he never wore shorts because in his mind, and again, you should ask, he's going to play golf on tour and you had to wear pants on tour, so why would he ever wear shorts?
I like that. Yeah. That's that manifestation we've been talking about so much.
It works.
Yeah.
Hey, there you go. So if you guys see me on pants and I don't have any game, and just know I'm manifesting, all right?
If you show up in pants tomorrow, I'll be ready.
All right. I better hit something good, man.
Speaking of the mental component, I mean, one, it's kind of a two-part question. One is what percentage is mental and between physical in golf? And then two, what are some tips that you could tell just kind of the average golfer in terms of how to mentally prepare for 18 holes?
I mean, I like a quote that's expect nothing, prepare for anything. It's the code of the samurai, right? So if you're hitting it great, you still want to have some contingency plans. You want to know what you're going to do if things go wrong. But a huge portion of golf is mental. But you have to have the physical skill set to be able to perform. You can't go out there and be the ball, feel the ball if you've never played. That's never going to work. So you have to have a good foundation. You have to repeat it over and over, and you're practicing in a way that's preparing you for tournaments. So there's different types of practice, and we've talked about this a little bit. We did a little shoot at the House with Golf magazine about warming up, practicing, or preparing for a tournament. They're very different, right? A warm up, you're getting your muscles loose. You're about to go play. Really, the shots don't matter. You're practicing. You're working on a new move. You're doing the same thing over and over, trying to learn it and make it a habit. You're going to go play in Scotland where you need to hit all low shots and flighted shots and run them up. You're practicing shots in your mind that are flighted to get them on the green, hit them low, hop them up there. There's just different types. So you have to really go out and know what you're trying to accomplish. But the mental aspect of golf, being mentally tough and not letting something get you down. Because you'll see players go in little spurts where they make a lot of bogeys or a lot of birdies, right? Where they're either high or low. You want to try to bounce back fast from any adversity, right? And minimize your mistakes. And in golf, especially for amateurs, they're going for the heroic shot all the time. Sometimes it's better just to chip it out, knock it on, and make a bogey. It's easy to recover from that.
And easier to stay in a rhythm or not get yourself into too much trouble, right?
Right, or start feeling like you have to really make up for it. A lot of kids, they'll start shooting under par or around par, and they get scared to take it deeper, right? So there's a kid that's a member here that's a good player, and he says, I don't have any trouble getting under par. I have trouble staying under par. And I said, that's because you're not trying to go further under par. So he gets there and he's trying to kind of put it on cruise control. If you've got it that day, I'm not saying be overly aggressive, but pick your shots and try to go deeper. That's how you shoot 62, 64.
I love that.
It's great. Do you have any favorite golf moments or favorite times you played also,
A few. I played around a year before last where I was with a bunch of clients and friends and some musicians. And I'd played the week before, 2 weeks before, and they gave me a hard time because I was teaching them and not really trying to play good. And so I shot 80 something, right? And you're like a golf coach that shoots 80, so they were giving me a lot of shit about it. And so I went and practiced for a week before our little golf trip we went on. And I shot 62 the opening round. I played against Chris Stutz.
Oh, my God.
I made a hole-in-one on a par 4, and I ended up winning by 15 or 18 shots. And they've given me shots. And I'm like, you guys want to talk about my game again?
There you go.
That is one of the best comeback stories I've ever heard.
Well,
the trophy's cool too.
It is cool, yeah. It's very cool.
And Stutz is really good.
He's really good. The par 4 that I made the hole-in-one on, we both hit it right at the pin, and we get up there and there's only one ball, and I'm like, shit, my ball went over the green. And so I'm sitting in the car, and Stutz is like, this is he looks in the hole, and he's like, I'm going to lose this hole with the eagle.
Oh, yeah.
But I tell you a really great one. So we were out at TPC Scottsdale, out there for the waste management, and Alex is doing this shot at glory. All right, and I'll let you take it from there because this is pretty good. It's not cheating. This is perfectly legal, but we did this.
No, this is one of my favorite moments in golf for sure. So I had just played the WM Phoenix Open Pro-Am, which if you know anything about golf or you don't know anything about golf, you probably know what that tournament is. And it's crazy. There are so many fans. It's such a fun environment. And you have a stadium hole. So you have seating all the way around it. And you start getting a little bit nervous.
It's wild.
Oh, yeah.
People will throw beer cans if you don't hit a good shot. And immediately following the Pro-Am is the shot at glory. So it's me, Michael Phelps, some people from Barstool, all of these former professional athletes, current baseball players, just really cool people that are super successful in their sport that I get to go up against to see who is basically going to hit it closer. On my way over there, Matt goes, okay, I checked the wind. This is what you have. Why don't you hit 4 shots on TrackMan? We're passing the range anyways. Great. I did it. We got my numbers. I'm seeing exactly where things are at. Again, using data to pick your shot and know what's going on.
She walks up there and stuffs it immediately.
Yes. I win that thing. Everyone goes wild. I win $25,000 for charity.
Oh, hell yeah.
And we saw Michael Phelps the other day and he was like, nice.
The best part of that is we had a little side bet with Darius Rucker since he's our neighbor here. And I was like, all right.
He's competitive. We're competitive against each other, actually.
We always play games. And I forget what we were going to lose if he won, but he didn't, so it doesn't matter. But he had to serenade Alex with a song.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that night at dinner, I'm like, okay, let's hear it, Darius. We've got a big group of all of our friends.
Did you get to request the song, or did you just go for it?
He did one of his songs called Sarah, and he changed the name to Alex.
Oh, nice. That's special.
That's about as good as it gets right there.
He was a little bitter, though. So.
We've had some epic battles with him.
That's
him
awesome.
and Jack are great, and we compete against some. For me to compete against the clients very rare, but Darius always wants a game.
Oh, we have so
That's
much
cool.
fun basically doing teams. So us two against Darius, his son Jack.
I mean,
we love getting to play anyone.
Yeah, I mean, how does a team beat you guys? I don't understand.
I mean, usually luck. or we're fighting about something. That's the easiest way to beat us.
Yeah.
Matt, why didn't you fix this in my swing?
Yeah, she's like, why are you letting me play bad? We were playing a match one time out in Scottsdale, and this client of mine was playing the best round of his life. And it's not enough money to matter. And she is riding with me. And she's like, why'd you make the bet? Why did you give him 6 shots the whole round? I'm like, I'm here working. Like, just relax. Mad the entire round. It was great.
Oh, man.
That's all. Do you have a most competitive game that you guys can remember?
They're all competitive.
All of them? Yeah.
All of them.
Yep.
I mean, I love playing golf just for fun or even going out by myself and playing a few holes. But even then, I'm still trying to do the best possible job that I can. And even though there's no one to compete against, I still have the mindset of wanting to do my best work, hit my chip shots as close as possible. So
don't let her lie to you, though. She's got another gear when a lot's on the line. She's hard to beat.
Wow. I can see that.
That's something that you earn over time and learn, but you are a good competitor.
Well, how you said you like learning from people that you teach. There's been some like one-liners that he's come home and told me about that, you know, these professional athletes have said. And one that stuck with me was, okay, what exactly did Tom Brady say when he was on the range? Because I thought it was just so thoughtful and really incredible, and you don't really hear that much.
He said he heard it from somebody else, and he said, "Coach, I'm all heart and no ego. None of this is going to bother me." And I thought that was a great line and impressive. That just is a testament to, you know, what he works on and how he lives his life, and it's very impressive.
Yeah, well, he's a very impressive man. So that's pretty cool. That. Yeah, that's really cool.
All heart, no ego.
Yeah.
I'm writing that down.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's a good one to memory bank. I mean, it's very hard for all of us, right? The ego gets in the way of so many things. You know, if you're on top of the world, bottom of the world, you just got to keep on, you know, doing the best you can every day.
That's great. Yeah. Really, really good sound advice. That's awesome.
Why don't you give us a funnier quote? What about that time we were playing with that guy that said, "Gosh, I wish I had a golf swing like you"?
Oh, yeah. Actually, we've heard that a few times where we'll be playing with other people and they'll compliment my swing and just say, "Wow, I wish I had that golf swing." And I'm like, "You don't know what you have to do to get it." Thought I have a good little chuckle over that.
Yeah, it always throws everybody off their game.
Yeah, and then they're like shaking it.
That's hilarious. Yeah, we heard what it takes at Justin Bieber's concert last night. I remember.
Oh, that's all.
It's a lot.
That's right.
Yeah. Who's the most competitive out of you two? Would you say? Is that hard to choose, or is it?
No, we're both so competitive.
Yeah.
It's probably pretty close.
The difference, though, is he has so much more experience under extremely high pressure situations, whether it's, you know, one of his players, because although he's not hitting the shots, it's almost more pressure on you because you're relying on someone else, but you're still having to go through all of those same emotions. And I think people forget that, you know, golf coaches, they are going through the highs and the lows. So no matter if one person is number one in the world, there's someone that might have missed the cut that week. So you still are always trying to, you know, improve all of the players.
Super accurate. You're only as happy as your unhappiest child, is a saying I've heard before. And so I've never really celebrated any victory because somebody else has struggled.
You said that there can be a lot of pressure being the coach, you know, and you go through the highs and lows with people that you're teaching. How do you deal with that pressure?
That's a great question. So there was a time in my life where it really started to bother me because I'm living and dying every day with the leaderboard, right? But I can only control so much. So I started looking at it and saying, this is very difficult because people are playing good, I'm having a great day. People are playing bad, I'm having a terrible day. And so I started seeking out a little bit of help from different mental coaches and different people that I met along the way. And I ran across this book called Inner Excellence. And it's by a guy named Jim Murphy. And so I read it a couple times and I said, I got to find somebody that can connect me with this dude. So I went and had dinner with him. And it's very typical information of what you would expect from any sports psychologist, mental coach. Control what you can control. But he's a little more advanced than that. And he talks about what you're trying to do to live your best life and what's going to bring you real joy. And so figuring out that if I should show up and give 100%, do the best I can, I'm prepared, I'm there on time, you know, I really have to leave it on the table because I really am not in control of a huge portion of it. And that's what makes the tour life hard, is you can go out there and give all you've got. And, you know, the guy you worked with might not sleep well. And he goes up and, you know, shoots a big number. You can't take that personally. And people get hired and fired all the time in my business. And when I was younger, it was really difficult for me. I would give so much effort and energy to these kids, these guys, and they'd try something different. But in reality, it's their livelihood too, so they're just trying to figure it out. But I used to take it personally, and I did seek help to figure out how to, you know, do the best job I could do, give the players my best effort, but also mentally, you know, live a good life, feel good about myself. And so it did take some work. I mean, it's a challenge.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a constant evolution, right?
Yeah, and like I feel like it's inspiring for people listening too, knowing like even if you're at the highest level possible, you know, you can still improve, and it's okay to ask other people for advice and keep building.
That's one of my favorite things about you, is that you're always learning and always willing to hear information from other people, especially in fields that aren't necessarily your expertise, but they can be if you keep learning.
I've never met anybody that had too many smart friends and had too much information that was, realistic and accurate.
Yeah.
Or too much money or hit it too far on the golf course. Never met either of those people.
Absolutely.
That's great. Yeah, it's always great to be a student of life and continually learn. And there's always ways to improve your life, right? But at the same time, you got to be grateful and enjoy it along the way. Otherwise, what are we doing here? What's the point,
Exactly.
Totally.
Yeah.
What are your guys' favorite things to do off the golf course?
Oh man, we just love to hang out, watch TV, like just super normal, like cook dinner, things that you can't do when you're on the road. I mean, how many weeks on the road are we? Probably
A
like,
lot.
yeah, there was a year I was 35 weeks on the road. So basically just getting to do everyday normal stuff is so much fun. That is a vacation. And even still, we love just hanging out with each other and
Watching
talking,
TV,
having a conversation,
going
outside.
and chipping in the backyard. Like there's all kinds of stuff we do. A lot of athletic stuff. We both like fashion, and we'll go travel. We like to travel, but we also like to be home. I'd never been home more than 2 weeks in a row since I was 18 until COVID.
Wow.
So COVID for me was a reset to be home and actually enjoy the house and have people over, have my friends over, host people, and we really love hosting people. So we've had different events, whether it's golf related or just even our engagement party at the house, things to just incorporate our friends and the people we love being around.
Just in the neighborhood, all of our friends
It's
are
such an
right
amazing
here
neighborhood.
too.
Yeah.
I forgot who told us, but someone said that we could hear your sound system from anywhere on the property.
Probably everyone told you that.
Yeah.
That's the calling card.
That's
You
awesome.
always have one thing that you want to show off. So to me, I always want a nice sound system in my house. And so I keep upgrading it slowly.
Awesome.
I think I get a complaint every single week, but I think we're okay.
Yeah, well,
Speaking
If you
because
invite the whole
they're-
neighborhood,
exactly. They're
it's
complaining.
fine.
They're
Right.
complaining
And
because they weren't
everybody
invited.
comes.
Yep.
No, everybody's invited.
That's awesome.
speaking of the neighborhood, like, what are your thoughts on Troubadour as a whole?
Oh, we love it. Just the people here are amazing. The facilities are great, and it keeps on improving. But more than anything, you just really can't create the environment where you have so many interesting people in one spot. Our neighbor out our front door on the right, he's a pilot. Amazing. When I first moved to Troubadour, I didn't have any food at my house. I turned my music on to test it. That's what I do. And he texted me and was like, I can hear your music. And I was like, I'm sorry. And he said, no, turn it up or come over for dinner.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I don't have any food here. I'm going to go over there. And they were so kind to me, and we became great friends. And so he comes to the house every time now. But it's just a really unique group of people, a lot of kind people.
Yeah,
That's cool.
the people, and then just the attention to detail. I remember my first time I ever went to a Discoveryland property, and as a golfer, I had never seen anything quite like it, just in the sense of the vibe, the comfort stations, things that you think, wow, how does every course not have this? But I mean, it's so special to these properties, and getting to bring someone here to Troubadour for the first time is one of my favorite things, because you obviously have the Fazio views and such a beautiful golf course, but you get to see how excited they are by just getting to cruise down to the range. You've got the jumbo TV with the football game on. You have music playing, a TrackMan range. There's just so many things that make it unbelievably cool. And I love witnessing that from
That's
friends
awesome.
for the first time.
Yeah, my first introduction, I believe, was El Dorado, and I never even really played golf before that. So I was just like out of the gate. I had El Dorado, and you're on the beach in Cabo, you're playing golf, you're with your friends. The comfort stations are amazing. Like, it doesn't get any better. And to go somewhere else that doesn't have that, I'm like, it's not the same vibe.
You started the wrong way.
Yeah, that's what we talk about too. We're like, well, if we weren't here, we'd really have a lot of trouble, because we really like the environment. More importantly, I've been wearing golf clothes, button up pants for so long.
Yeah.
There's nothing that makes me happier than throwing on a pair of gym shorts and a t-shirt and going to the range like and just chilling.
Yeah.
I teach my lessons down there, and I realize that sometimes when somebody new comes in, I should probably dress a little more professional. So I do occasionally, but I also want to experience the vibe of you don't really know what anybody does, who they are. They're wearing comfortable clothes, and everybody's nice to everybody. That's just kind of the rule. Just don't be an asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty simple.
I feel like that laid back part of the Discovery properties actually attracts people that maybe wouldn't play as much. There's a lot of people we've heard and we've had on the podcast as well that said that they never really played golf before coming here. And the fact that they're able to be, a little more laid back and enjoy them. Brett Hull, I think, was one of them.
Yeah.
Chase Rice, I think, is saying he
We love those guys.
Yeah, they're great guys.
Such a great group.
Yeah.
But
even just the family environment too. You see kids on the range, women learning how to play, women beating the men, like husbands and wives going out. It's just such a great dynamic.
Yeah, and you're making real memories, right? And that's one of the coolest things about it is just driving around. You see the families, you see the environment. Even here, I keep hearing about 80% of people are, full-time residents, and it's really just an incredible community with incredible amenities. And I don't know how you leave. That's what.
When are you guys moving here?
We're checking out lots right after this.
I just did. I'm not leaving. No, it's my first time here, and getting to go to downtown Nashville last night and experience, the Justin Bieber concert, but more importantly, just kind of seeing the area and getting to hang out with everyone. Was really, really unique and special. And I can definitely see myself spending a lot of time here in the future. And Ryan Newton told us, I think there's about 80 children under the age of 12 on property right now, which is crazy because I haven't really seen a lot around, but that's so many children at one time to be entertaining. Think of how many activities and things are going on
Have you been
property.
down to kids camp yet?
You haven't?
No.
That's
It's really fun down there.
I love
That's
going
where
down
they're
there.
all at, holding the little chicks.
I haven't
and
down there in a
fishing.
while, but it's fun.
I want to go fishing or something, but yeah, no, it's just crazy to think about. But
Well,
Yeah,
the rest
really
of the crew just took a helicopter to go fishing just a minute ago. So
Wow.
no way.
we missed out on that. But
Well, we're working. We're here working. You know what? We'll get our own helicopter.
Hella skiing, it's hella fishing.
Yeah. Right.
your dad's fishing right now too.
Oh, no way.
That's great.
Oh,
That's
hell
awesome.
yeah. Thanks
Yeah.
for the invite.
They invited me, and I said I've got a podcast to do, and I'm
Yes.
No, he
I'm
knows
looking
you're
forward to it.
grinding.
Hey man, we've been looking forward to this since for weeks now, actually. Yeah. And
Hell yeah.
you're actually we're one of the first ones that Will was talking to about going to a property and
It
really
was
doing it. So
So I told him, I said, just come to us because we're not going to be out west for a while. And I said,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
show up. And you guys have showed up and worked your butts off this week.
It was the
Good.
first week we started the podcast. The first phone call I made. Literally. It was awesome. I'm really
You're crushing
glad we
it now.
got to sit down and do this together.
There's so
Yeah.
much talent too, right here in Nashville that you could probably be here for a while doing podcasts.
yeah.
The two musicians at the, 1230 bar?
Yeah,
12:30
12:30 Club.
1230
Yeah.
Club. The two musicians on while we were at dinner were just phenomenal. I'm I could definitely get used to that.
There's so much talent all around
It is
in a lot of different
Well,
fields.
some of our servers here are actually great musicians.
Really.
Yeah, we've gotten to know a couple of them just in talking to them, and we found out that they're, up and coming.
We're going to
That's
throw up
awesome.
a stage for him, let him rip.
Yeah.
I think we should.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. Have a talent contest. or
Troubadour's
something.
Challenge,
got,
yeah.
Troubadour's got talent. Let's see what we got.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Hell yeah.
That's great. Yeah, this city too is just so alive. I mean, Wednesday night it looked like the busiest city I've ever seen in LA. Comparatively, and it's just a random Wednesday. It seemed like it's
That's pretty much every night.
Yeah.
Broadway does not
Broadway
sleep.
is jumping.
yeah, incredible. Do you guys have any favorite spots out here? Favorite things to do?
There's some great restaurants.
Yeah.
It's fun because no matter what you're looking for, whether you want to go hit the town and go to one of the bars on Broadway or go to a nice dinner or a hike, there's so many different things that Tennessee and Nashville specifically have.
Cane
that-
Prime is one of my favorite places to eat downtown.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Is that a steak
the
place?
Lobster.
Steak, lobster popcorn,
Popcorn
bites. I mean,
bites.
it's worth
Ooh.
checking out.
It's
Yeah.
definitely worth going.
Sounds amazing.
We got a couple more days. We
Yeah.
gotta make it happen.
I'm writing
Yes.
mental
That's awesome.
note.
I'll text it to you.
That's awesome. I heard you guys talking about a raindrop. What is that thing?
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
your product you invented.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I invented this for putting. So for years we put a string attached to, you could say, a stick, netting needle, you name it, and you have to wind it up and stretch it out, and you putt underneath it so that you can see your start line. And for a couple of years, I was like, why does somebody not just invent a retractable one so that you can set it up and take it down immediately? Like an ID on your that's attached to your belt loop,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and then it comes right back in.
Love those.
So back in the day, I remember one night, me and Bud Colley and JT, we went to, it was either Target or Walmart, like at midnight, and we bought knitting needles and elastic stretch cord. Okay, because it tangles the least, and that's how I made them forever. And I was like, they'd break one, they wouldn't use it. I was like, man, I got to get somebody to do this at some point. And I just made the joke, hoping somebody else would pick it up and go, oh wow, I'll do it. And then I finally met a company, Perfect Practice, that was like, we'll do that idea. And so now we have, and I named it the Raindrop because everybody's like, make it rain, drop putts like rain. I'm like, so we shaped it like a raindrop and it's blue.
I like that.
That's awesome.
But it's doing well. It just makes putting more convenient practices. It's not a.
It's so funny to see the range of people that use it too. I mean, it's so great for your game, but he'll like send me a picture of Adam Sandler like with this range off. He's like, love it, Matt. And then you turn on the TV and they're showing the range or the putting green, and you just see all these like raindrops out there.
Awesome.
So it's
pretty
cool to see people from basically like all skill levels utilizing it.
Yeah, for anyone listening, where can we get one?
You can get it from the Perfect Practice website, which the link is in my bio on my Instagram. And you can also get it at quite a few Dick's Sporting Goods and Golf Galaxy.
And your Instagram is Killen Golf, right?
Yes, that's right.
At Killen Golf.
Awesome.
Boom.
Yeah. Well, I'm definitely going to get one. You sold me.
Done.
Yeah. I'll send you a picture. It won't be as cool as Adam Sandler. But yeah.
We'll use it though.
Yeah,
Awesome.
that was
Cool.
a pretty epic one.
That's cool. That's awesome.
You might have more followers though.
I don't know that. But yeah, that's awesome. I mean, golf has taken you around the world, huh?
Everywhere.
Both of you guys,
It's taken me way further than I ever thought it would.
Yeah.
And we're just going to keep on doing it.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's cool all of us kind of being in our different fields, but we still all get to see the world in different ways and meet different people. And
Yeah.
I mean, bottom line for me, just meeting people is the coolest part of life.
What can we look forward to with the two of you? What do you got in the pipeline?
I mean, a wedding for one.
Hey.
That'll be going down.
At some point.
We're really just growing and continuing, our paths in golf. And it's fun when we get to do things together, whether it's, with Golf Magazine, golf.com, doing things just with, certain brands or partnerships. So I don't know.
We're venturing outside golf a little bit too, but just different things that kind of keep our interest.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Is it? I mean, you guys have had careers, in your own rights, obviously before meeting. Is it a lot of fun now doing so many things together in the space that you're so familiar with?
Absolutely. And being able to help each other
And
with
relatable.
things.
I mean, she's, I can bounce ideas off her, and it's not like she has no clue what I'm doing. She knows exactly what I'm doing.
That's awesome.
She knows what golf, that the kind of pressure there is, how the results work. So it's nice to talk to somebody that understands where I'm at mentally.
Yeah.
Right.
That's cool.
I mean, as you guys know, if you've dated people, if they don't really understand what you're doing, it's very complicated. It's hard to explain what it feels like to be on that range and have people, not doing well, or, how happy you are when somebody plays well. And if you don't play golf and you're not in that scope, it's kind of hard.
No, you guys definitely inspire me as couple goals, and 100%. You find those similarities and that inspiration and that connectivity, like absolutely.
That's cool.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We
And
appreciate it.
speaking on traveling really quick, do you guys know where you want to go for your honeymoon? You got that far yet?
Yes, we do.
This is actually a great story.
Okay, last story. It's crazy, but we are in London actually with your dad.
Oh, wow.
And this is ahead of going to Dunhill Championship, the tournament that takes place over in St. Andrews, Scotland. And I mean, we're having a blast out in London. It's just like 2-3 days, and it's kind of the same people that we're with throughout the course of the 3 days. And there were some that we hadn't met before. And one of them was just this super nice man. We got to know him a little bit over the course of the 3 days. And, it's the final night. And he's like, I've really just enjoyed chatting with you guys. I would like to gift you a trip to my country of Bhutan. And first off, I'm like,
What?
Where's Bhutan? Hold on. Matt, where's Bhutan at?
I'm like,
so,
I don't know where Bhutan is.
Yeah.
We do now.
We find out that Sungay is the son-in-law to the king of Bhutan, and they have started this incredible resort property called the Six Senses, and you basically go a few days here, and then you go a few days there, and you have a guide that will take you to these different places, and it's all about just completely decompressing and, leaving your phone behind and, just experiencing the world and everything that is around you.
Wow.
And I mean, I am so beyond excited, but
me too. I mean, it was really cool. We're like, but we can come to Baton. Like,
yeah.
I
So
mean,
he wasn't joking when he said my country, Baton.
It was incredible and just the kindest person. And
looked over at your dad and he's like, "You should do it. It looks awesome."
Yeah.
I was like, "All right, we're in."
That
Sounds incredible.
Yeah, just that was something where golf has connected us with different people, and then you end up doing things that you would never think, or go to places that you didn't really know much about before. So
that's true. We've been a lot of places that we never would have thought about going to.
I love that about traveling. You learn about people all over the world and places all over the world, and you don't know until you go and know, right?
You don't know until you know.
Yeah. 100%.
I mean, that sounds like a great way to end it right there. You don't know until you know. Appreciate you guys.
Oh,
yeah, that was a blast. Thanks for having us.
Do a little sign out.
Thank you so much, guys. Can we get a this is my name, welcome to Studio 22 from each of you, just like one at a time? Like, cool.
Go ahead, babe.
I'm Alexandra O'Laughlin, and welcome to Studio 22.
I got to follow that.
That's a broadcasting. Yeah, that was perfect.
I'm Matt Killen, and welcome to Studio 22.
Oh,
perfect.
Nice.
Yeah.
Like that.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to drop a like if you enjoyed the video.
And subscribe and hit the bell for a whole lot more to come.
Thanks for tuning in to Studio 22.